we're only a few days away now from probably what's one of the biggest fixtures in the club's history. As a coach, you must be excited and relishing the challenge ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, we very much look at the Premiership as our bread and butter, and in some ways that they're almost the pressure games. You know, they're the games that in some ways really get the pulse racing for me. But this one's different. You know, the Heineken Cup is for me is just about pure excitement and really testing yourselves, and I really look forward to them. I think we've always kind of showed our best qualities in the Heineken Cup, and that's why I like it. You know, the players, it's very important to them to play at the highest level possible. It's very important to them to perform against the best players in Europe, and I think, you know, it's very important to our supporters that we've worked very hard to be in this competition. Now we've got to show ourselves as the best we can be, and we always talk about it with the players that the key thing in big games is that you make sure you take a full part in the game, and you make sure you're a better player and we're a better club, because we come out the other side and we've really been right in the thick of the battle, and that hasn't changed for us. I think that's been our mantra from the start. Right from when we first got in the Amblin, when we first got in the Premiership, and it's very much what we're going to take into this game. You know, we know Toulon are a very, very good side, but we think we're a good side, and I think we're showing that. We haven't managed to really drive home a couple of results that have disappointed us, but we do feel we're on pretty good form. We think we're very good at home here. We know what a kind of passionate support we've got. You know, I like to say as a club we're a little bit crazy, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I think our supporters embody that as well, and so they should. You know, really letting your emotions show as a crowd is fantastic, and what we have to do is make sure we bring them into the game with us by the way we perform.
Toulon obviously put their second team out last week with 14 internationals, so the big guns are coming hopefully this week. But it's a great test, and as we saw last year with the likes of Leinster and Clermont, the boys do rise to that challenge.
Oh, definitely. I mean, but having said that, you know, I was watching training today, and at one stage I was looking at pretty much full international back line running against our starting team today. You know, I think, you know, what was in the back line, you know, Tom James, Fetu Vanakola, Ray Nakalavuki, Ian Whitton was in there, Kerry Sweeney. You know, so there was plenty of internationals in our team in our run today as well. So, you know, I'm very comfortable where we are. We know they're a very, very good side. We know that they're very dangerous, that their individuals can make things happen. What we have to do is collectively be very, very strong. That tends to be our strength, and we've got to make sure we ram that home this week.
After Glasgow, you said these next two games, you'd have to win at least one of them to keep yourself very much alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way we look at all the competitions. We look at all the competitions at the start of the season, and we don't say, oh, geez, we've got to finish sixth in the Premiership, or we've got to finish fourth, or we've got to do this. What we say is, let's keep every competition alive for as long as we can. Let's go out there right from the whistle. Let's get after it. You know, we kind of look at all our competitions as 200-metre sprints. You know, we try and fly out the blocks and get after it, hold on in the middle and see what we can add at the end. And I think that's a bit where we are with this Heineken Cup. You know, I think we started very well against Cardiff, had a tough fixture at Glasgow where the conditions were difficult, still put in a performance that for a long period one thing either way, and we could have come away with a win there. And now we're in this middle stretch where, you know, we're kind of like I say, we're taking the bend, and we've got to see what we can get out of it for that home stretch. And for me, it's about doing something in these two games that mean the last two games really mean something. Now I don't care how we get those points, but we've got to fight and scrap for everything we get for these 2 weeks, and then, you know, as I say, we're back into other competitions. But it would be fantastic if we can still look forward to those two last legs with something to really fight for.
It's only a few seasons ago that you were preparing for an away game at Doncaster. This weekend you got the European champion. Shows how far the club and you've driven the club forward. Yeah,
I mean, but it's been little steps. You know, I've said it many times. You know, we didn't just suddenly wake up and bang, we're in the Heineken Cup. It's never happened like that. From our time, you know, from being 2 leagues below the Championship, you know, it's been steps of getting groups of players together and groups of people together who've had the same drive and ambition. You know, right through the club, not just within the team. And you take some little steps, and some of the steps are quite easy and they feel quite nice, and some of the steps are really, really tough, and you know, and there's a few backward steps in there as well that really hurt along the way. And where we are at the minute is, I think our little steps are starting to bring us rewards, and that's what we've got to do. You know, the Heineken Cup itself is a nice reward for doing well in the Premiership, but if you want further rewards from it, we've got some big steps to take, and like I say, a big step will be to get through the middle rounds with something to really fight for towards the end of the competition for us. I think if we can do that, we can be pleased with how we're going. If we don't, you know, then we've got to make sure that whatever happens, we've taken something out of these two games.